What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, was it Jez? I think it was Jez. Jez, he reported stuff. He's a reporter, I think. Yeah, sure, let's call him that. I like him because he's British, A. He likes beans and toast. Not really wrong. I actually never had beans and toast, officially the way that they make it. But anyway, that's not the point. Point is, he reported that, it was Windows Central, I believe, reported that Microsoft will put the next Call of Duty into Game Pass day one. Boop, 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 boop. And of course, the Donkey Unicorns and the Ponies are going to be like, oh my gosh, the Xbox is going third party. They're going to say all kind of stuff, right? Oh my gosh, they're going to cannibalize their sales, blah, 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 right? This is how dumb people are. They realize that Call of Duty is the most sellingest game on PlayStation, right? Every year, it sells the most, period, right? So, let's imagine that is still a constant with this one coming up, right? It's going to sell the most. The game that sells the most on PlayStation is an Xbox-owned game. Microsoft owns it, right? So, what does that mean? 70% of all them sales go to Microsoft. Before was not the case. Now, how many percentage of, total Call of Duty sales were actually Xbox? We don't know. I don't know that number. I guess some people were speculating. I don't even know what those numbers were. But regardless, the converting of buyers of the game to Game Pass subs is going to be big. It's going to be bigums. Because anecdotally, I've heard two separate stories from two separate people on the internet in the last 2 weeks, that was the case. I was talking to some friends, and they're just Call of Duty people. And it's like, when you say one guy was talking to his friend who has a friend who has a friend who has a friend, there's like 5-6 of them. And then you multiply that by, 20 in the neighborhood. Then you multiply that by however many, and, it just multiplies exponentially. And you think that is the notion, that is the narrative, if you will, going around these casuals who are like, yo, I can just get Game Pass for $17 a month. Boom. It's an easy pill to swallow because they're already doing it with Disney Plus because they got kids. They got to put Disney, they got to put Blue's Clues or whoever, they got to put all that stuff on there, the Muppets and all that stuff for the kiddies, right? Got to put the Little Mermaid on there for the kiddies. They paid it whatever. I don't even know what Disney Plus is right now, but it's just, probably a lot. And they're doing it for Netflix. They're doing it for Prime for other reasons too, but still, they're used to that subscription model, and it's about what you get for it, right? And if you're gonna buy Call of Duty every year anyway, and you're gonna buy the Battle Pass anyway, I don't know if they're gonna have any deals with the Battle Pass and stuff. Maybe that would be a smart thing too. Some people said have a separate, a new tier that included the Battle Pass and all the DLC and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Would I pay extra, $5 to get all the DLC and all that stuff for free? I don't know. It depends. It depends. That's not a bad idea. Anyway, the point is, Call of Duty in Game Pass this fall. Who said it? I forgot who was it. Was it Marlon Gaiman or I don't know who it was. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm just saying, look, once that happens and all the Game Pass subs are going to blow up because all these people just wait. They were waiting because they had no other choice. They had to buy it before. Now, there are going to be some diehard PlayStation ponies, mainly the Ponies and the Donkey Unicorns. They're going to still buy it and say, I support the devs, like dumbasses. Because, of course, when you buy a game, you're not supporting the devs. You're supporting the publishers who pay the devs, okay? Let's understand how this business works, and most businesses, but this business in particular that we're talking about. I'm not going to explain it. If you know, you know. Sorry. I was listening to Dudesy and there's a joke in there. But anyway, so Call of Duty, Game Pass is a game changer. And if you think it's not going to move the needle in any direction, you're wrong. If you don't think that Game Pass is going to get a whole bunch of new subs, you're wrong. Either way, Microsoft is still making that money. They're making money off of PlayStation. It's the genius move that buying ABK was by Microsoft was that their competition is literally funding. You know what I'm saying? It's funding the game and also other games too, because the game sells so many. It's crazy. It's just, when you think about it, it's like that's how you strategize. That's how you do it. That's how you do business. You know, you got Sony, who's like kind of the bully. They out there. Yeah, man, we just go. Nope, you can't have that game. We're gonna pay. They money handing everybody so nobody else can get games. Instead of trying to be actually competitive, they're deleting the competition so they don't have to compete. It's just them. They're the only choice, right? How is that competition? How is that even a healthy market? That doesn't make any sense. But that's how Sony likes to win. By, they had to forfeit. They couldn't compete because they have no choice. They can't compete. Why? Because Sony made it so they couldn't compete. But now, Sony is on the other side of the coin. Not even, it's like a whole different coin. It's a whole different dimension where coins don't exist. Sony is on the side where they have to pay. Well, they don't have to pay. I mean, they're still getting their little 30% or whatever it is. Or maybe they're keeping it the same and it's 80% and it's 80-20. And maybe they're just getting 20% for using their store. So, sure, the Ponies and Donkey Unicorns are going to but we're getting 30% from Xbox games, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, y'all are dumb. Because it's the install base. It's the Donkey Unicorns and the Ponies that are funding, the Xbox stuff. Anyway, that's cool. Call of Duty, I'm going to check it out because it's going to be on Game Pass. I'm going to just be like, beep, boop, boop, download it and let's go. Or I think they're doing pre-installs and stuff. Anyway, I'll do that. Main thing I wanted to talk about really was next Tuesday, Hellblade 2. Saga time. Listen. So I saw the trailer, the new trailer. I was like, oh wow, that looks cool. And then I'm on YouTube, watching videos, watching Cool Kid from BX, all this stuff. And this freaking Hellblade trailer keeps popping up. And I'm like, hold up. Where are the Donkey Unicorns and the Ponies talking about, there's no advertisement. Oh my gosh. Oh, fake concern. Oh my gosh, they're not even promoting this game. All I see is Hellblade 2 a day. Everywhere I turn, I see Hellblade 2. Come on, son. Wasn't it on a NBA game or something? I don't watch NBA. But I heard somebody said it was on an NBA game or something. I was like, cool. That's cool too. Listen. And how they're showing the game, right? Like, we know. If you know, we know that game is gorgeous. That game looks crazy. But for casuals, they're like, what is this cinematic trailer crap and stuff? What is this? Because they don't realize that that's the game, son. I was looking at that. I was like, yo, that trailer looked better than anything that I have seen. I remember last week I was talking about how they did the comparison from 2021 to 2023. Looked better than 2023. I was like, yo, what kind of crazy magic are they doing right now? I mean, maybe it's on a freaking 5090 or something. It's not doing a release graphics card, but they're like, yo, we got let's put it on a new graphics card. Let's see how the graphics look. I don't know. But still, I got an X. I'm going to be chilling. I don't have my 4K TV set up, so I'm going to be rocking 1080p. But you get used to it. It's a smaller screen too, so you get used to 1080p. But I will enjoy the days when I get back to 4K. But anyway, that doesn't matter. What does matter is that Hellblade 2 is coming out. Sony has no answer. They have no answer. They are not competing right now. And the funny thing is, like I said before, their idea of competition is not actually, I mean, they weren't even the ones saying compete. Microsoft, why don't you compete? It wasn't Sony that was saying that. It was the Ponies and the Donkey Unicorns that were saying that. oh, if y'all would compete, then Sony wouldn't be doing this and doing that. I was like, okay, well, we're competing now. What's Sony doing? They're silent. They vanished. They said, oops. They forfeited. This whole year, they forfeited the whole year. No games. And people are like, oh, well, but this game, like, no. Don't try to put these games that they bought, because they ain't have no games, so they had no choice. In desperation, they bought some exclusives. Come on, son. That is like, it's not a good look. Moving on. Last thing. Yesuke, I think that's how you pronounce it. I was like, Yasuke. That's how I was saying it before, because I'm a dummy. But Yesuke, I thought he was a samurai, but now everybody's saying he was I keep thinking Regent. What was he? I forgot what the title that they said he was, but I'm like, okay, well, what's the difference between a samurai and whatever he was supposedly to be, right? And I'm looking at these people. I'm like, okay, y'all are mad because he's black. Well, let's not pretend let's say what it is. You're mad because they used him, and he's a historical figure, right? So, okay, so I can see the little minutia of what his actual title was, but I did see the anime that was on Netflix years ago. And it was just Yasuke. Yasuke. Yes. I guess the U is silent. I don't know. Yasuke. That's how you spell it. Anyway, I saw that and I was like, that's cool. I think I saw the whole thing. I remember it was like a little girl and I remember it. And it was cool. I was like, that's cool. But this whole Assassin's Creed Shadow, I mean, that's not the best name, first of all. But I get it. And I'm like, okay, so once again, why are you mad? I mean, like I said, the whole semantics of samurai or regent or protector or protractor, whatever the hell he was, does that matter? What did he actually do? What was his job? And was his job similar or that much farther away from being a samurai that it needs that distinction? Or was it a status thing? Whereas, you can't be a samurai unless you're Japanese, so he had to be this instead, and that's why he's this, but he actually does the same exact job as a samurai, which happens today. I'm not talking about samurais, but in my job, I do a specific job, and other people do a specific job, and there's two designations. We're not the same. Same job, but contracts, unions, all these things, it causes there to be a differentiation of our titles, of our job descriptions or whatever. Or not so much job descriptions, but it's basically how we get paid is different. Anyway, back to Yasuke. So, all this outrage, I mean, there were literally racist tweets and stuff, but that was about Sony fans being treated like black people in 1939, whatever. I don't even remember who did that tweet. And I was like, you're dumb. And people got on him, so I was like, good, I don't have to say nothing. But I'm saying that because that character is black, even though it's historically accurate, he was black, hello, they have a problem with it. They wanted a Japanese dude, right? I'm like, okay, sure. But although I would say the story of Yasuke, I know I'm messing it up, sorry. But that story seems to be more interesting because you're like, how did an African dude who's fluent in Japanese, by the way, how did he become good with Nobunaga? I'm sorry, I'm messing it all up. But I'm just saying, he got good with the boss man, and that's what's up. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's basically what it is just the ugly face of racism popping its head up. They're trying to disguise it, trying to have this anger or concern or whatever. They're trying to say, oh, it's woke because they put a black samurai. I'm like, it's literally history. It's literally history. It's like, oh, let's do a sciencey type of RPG, storytelling RPG based off of the creator of peanut butter. And then you put him in there, and they're like, why is he black? What kind of wokeness is this? And I'm like, because he was George Washington Carver. Literally the dude who created, he black. Sorry you don't like history. I mean, whatever. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's just ignorance on some people's parts, where they didn't realize that there was actually a black samurai and his name was Yosuke. I don't know what his name was before they gave him his Japanese name, but you know, I mean, I barely knew. I saw the anime and I was like, yeah, I know everything now. I know the history of. I don't obviously. And it's so far. It was in the 1500s, so it's like no photos, you know. I mean, I'm sure there's illustrations and paintings, which would be cool to look up. But I think like things like that. I mean, just like on its base level, having a giant black, I think it was like 6'2" or something. He towered over everyone else, right? He was a giant black man who was a samurai who impressed Nobunaga. I think that was him, right? And became like a very close, I don't want to say confidant, but you know, a very close soldier to the ruler. And it's interesting to see, like, you know, this is 300, wow, over 600 years ago, 5 and change, whatever, right? And you thought racism was bad now, right? I'm pretty sure it was bad back then. But it's like, okay, you got Nobunaga. What in his mind, you know, saw him as, you know, an asset. Did he treat him, you know, with respect? Or I don't know how the honor system works with what his position was, you know, versus Nobunaga. But it's like, I don't even know if that was the actual general or leader dude. I'm just saying that because that seems like the right word. Wow. Anyway, I should read more. So it's interesting to see kind of the aspect of that happening now. And there's crazy racism in Japan. There's crazy racism all over the world as far as just against black people in particular. But, you know, there's other type of racism. There's black on black racism. Please, trust me, there is. There's all kind of racism. White on white racism. You know, it's more classist type of thing, but, you know. I mean, the line is so blurry. What are you gonna do? Anyway, I think that's an interesting premise, and like the ninja lady, isn't that homegirl from Daredevil, right? That looked like her, right? She cute. I ain't gonna lie. She's gotta be Asian, right? She's white and something. She's white and something. I think she's white and Japanese. I think. I gotta look her up now. But I always like when I saw her in Daredevil, I was like, oh, who this cute Asian lady girl over here? I mean, she's too young for me. Whatever. Actually, you know what? Maybe she like a little silver hawk. I don't know. It's whatever. I'm just saying she has the beauty face and stuff. So her acting's okay too. I've only seen her in Daredevil, so I can't really. Wait, she was in something else. I don't remember what it was. I was like, oh, that's homegirl from Daredevil. But I don't think I saw it. I think I saw a trailer or something. Anyway, point is, I think that's her in the game. That'd be cool. Seeing a Marvel Universe person in a game. That's a Ubisoft game. Anyway, maybe because Ubisoft is making are they making Black Panther? Wait, what are they? They're making a Marvel game, right? I'm my brain just. Anyway, Shadow looks cool. It'll be cool. I'll play it eventually, maybe. I don't know. I'd be more interested in seeing that game than the other games because it's a different setting, and I want to see how it compares to like Ghost of Tsushima and actually, since this is coming out before Ghost 2, I want to see what they do. I want to see if actually the Assassin's Creed formula applied to Japan and historical Japan as it is, plus with the black character, how it will fare against the next Ghost of Tsushima, or whatever they're gonna call it, Ghost of Ichi Island, Ghost of, I don't know, mainland. What's the mainland Japan's island name? It's just Japan, right? I don't know. Is there a distinction between the names like back in the day? Probably. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I appreciate y'all listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about Xbox blowing up the spot. That they about to do some damage this year. You know, even though everybody's on the bad news, they don't say nothing about the freaking new studio. Activision's opening up all these freaking fanboys, you know, media too. You know, I said in the last video about Digital Foundry and everybody else, they go kick rocks. Regardless of that stuff, right? Xbox is still gonna bring it. They bring in the games. They're doing their business, thug thizzle. They're making it so that Call of Duty is going to be a great asset to them and Gamepass, and it's going to provide a great deal for gamers. And why would, if you're a Call of Duty dude, right? Or do that, right? And you play it every year, regardless. That's one of your games. That, Madden, and I don't know, Hello Kitty. I don't know what you play, but I'm just saying maybe that's the 3 that you play every year. That's all you get. That's it. Why would you not get game? If Madden's in Game Pass and Call of Duty's in Game, if they figure out a way to get those like that, Madden Football Club, well, Fortnite's free. What else? What else is an annual type of game that I'm gonna just say those, right? So say if they do those, then what sane person wouldn't take that Game Pass deal when they know they're gonna get all that? I don't know, man. It just seems like they on the road to success and Sony is sitting there. Fair games, baby steps. Anybody here? They're having a thing on next Wednesday, I think, right? They think they slick, right? So Hellblade comes out on Tuesday, right? And they're gonna have their whatever they're gonna say. I hope it blows the doors off. I hope they got a whole bunch of good graphics that look better than Hellblade. Because if they come with some okie doke, man, that's gonna be it. Three strikes and you out. They already got 2 strikes. Man, Sony's in trouble, boy. Nobody thinks it. Nobody says it because they scared. They scared of Sony. They scared to anger the big old Sony, big bad Sony. But they're in trouble. So I don't know, man. I appreciate you. I'm out of gas, energy, and like I said, comments. Also about the other stuff too that I'm not remembering because my brain is hot. But yeah, appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Talk to way time.